Good evening, everyone. It is Pal Ponder on Weather coming to you live with storm coverage this evening. And we got a lot to talk about. It's definitely going to be a busy night ahead. We've already seen a lot of severe weather. It actually kind of started about 5 o'clock, which I thought back in West Texas, and they formed into a kind of a scattered to, if not isolated supercells. And then they formed that squall line that we kind of talked about. And they do, in fact, have a tornado watch out here in West Texas for areas to receive up to 3 inches in diameter hailstones and some 75-mile-per-hour winds. And we've seen every bit of that so far. In fact, here looking at some of the here's look some of the storm reports. We'll kind of zoom in here. So here's the city of Del Rio. So in fact, they've actually seen a 74 mile per hour. That's actually hurricane force wind gust down there in the Del Rio region. We did, in fact, actually have a confirmed tornado down there earlier as well. And then we had some massive hail. We're talking west of San Antonio here, 3, if not almost 4 inches confirmed by a storm spotter down there west of the San Antonio region tonight. About an hour ago, yeah, you're talking 4 inches in diameter hail. That is more like grapefruit size. That is some nasty stuff. And you can see we're still dealing with a tornado warning even as we speak. And this is kind of a nasty cell further south of Kerrville in the city of Comfort. They're getting some of that tennis ball size hail. These are moving eastbound about 30 to 40 miles an hour. So they do, in fact, have a significant severe thunderstorm warning on that advisory. And this is going to continue moving off to the east. So they did, in fact, we do have the tornado watch that does include areas west of thinking west of I-35. There are some areas like Denton are in the tornado watch, the city of Gainesville, back up into Sherman. It just means, yeah, I mean, those storms could be a little bit stronger, got the further west, maybe north, and a little bit weaker the further east you live. So in areas of, say, in the red, where you have McKinney, Bonham tonight, you get into the Paris region down here towards Dallas and to Fort Worth, they are under that severe thunderstorm watch. So still dynamics, but just a little bit less in severity. We're talking 2 inches in diameter hail potential, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and yes, a tornado or two is possible. But so you can see the leading edge of this squall line. Here it is about 8:45, and it's right elongated around the Bridgeport region down towards Runaway Bay. You can see the bowing out. Let me kind of zoom in here. You can see this bow feature that we always kind of look for, and that's basically picking up more significant winds. In fact, we're actually getting some 70-mile-per-hour winds with this line. These are straight line winds. This would likely do a lot of tree damage, a lot of fence damage, roof damage out there as these move across. And as when they start to bow out like that, they can actually even get a little bit stronger. And there's a 59-mile-per-hour confirmed about an hour ago in the city of Mineral Wells Airport. So this will continue. I mean, there's the city of Fort Worth here, and these are going to be continuing moving off east, roughly about 30 miles an hour or so. So again, we're going to be with you. You know, this severe thunderstorm watch in areas of red goes all the way until 2 o'clock in the morning. So basically, the main time frame is essentially going to be 9 o'clock tonight to 2 o'clock in the morning for roughly the heart of North Texas. So you can see the leading edge of that line just elongated around the Comanche region down there towards Stephenville. It's getting into areas of Weatherford and to Bridgeport. Now, where the northern branch is starting to bow out, they typically do move a little bit faster. And that's kind of one of the reasons why actually Denton is, in fact, under that tornado watch, because of the severity will likely extend into them, but not likely into McKinney region because of the bowing out feature of this type of setup, as we get into the evening time frame. How's it going, everyone? Pal, what's the guidelines for the sirens to go off again? Hey, Amber, unfortunately, it's all three. Now, yeah, I mean, it used to be just right. So the sirens used to just go out for tornadoes. And so when they first changed it, they added hail and wind. So when it very first came out, it was in fact baseball size hail. It had to be 2.75-inch hail to be an outdoor warning siren. And then it also had to be 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, over time, they've actually lowered that criteria. I think even some cities are about an inch and a half. I think the city of Frisco is about an inch and a half. I mean, the damaging winds are more like 65 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm not really totally in agreement of that. But, again, a warning sign, outdoor warning signs are really meant to just get indoors. So if you do in fact hear it, it's not exactly implying that if there's a tornado out there or even a warning, you still could get a siren if a hailstone could be 1.5, maybe 1.75 inches or higher, or you could have a 65-mile-per-hour wind gust, which again tonight, that's not going to be that hard to do with this squall line that's going to be moving across. So just be prepared for that. You might hear some sirens going off with this squall line that's moving through, because we already know it has some 75, 65, 70-mile-per-hour winds with this squall line, and that will be approaching the city of Fort Worth in probably about 30, maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so from now. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Appreciate you bringing that up, Amber. Yeah. So the reason why the Storm Prediction Center has, these are moving fairly quick, and they have that isolated tornado threat, because anytime you have a squall line like this, you're always susceptible on kind of the leading edge of that. And we've already seen a couple of tornadoes confirmed tonight, that of getting a quick spin up tornado. That's why we have the potential for a tornado or two, if not a couple, the further west you live. So we do, we are going to be watching this line pretty closely if we can see any types of couplets, any types of even a supercell that might actually get out ahead of the main line, that it can become a little bit more tornadic versus more of a damaging wind threat here with what this setup is right now. Hey, looks like something is trying to spin up down south of Johnson City. Yeah, so that further south, yes, that's an area that is definitely rotating, because we already do have, in fact, a tornado warning just further south from the Johnson City region. But yes, Johnson City definitely likely has to be on the lookout with this supercell that's heading their way here shortly. Let me switch radars here. Yeah, so this is what someone was mentioning. So we do, in fact, have a tornado warning further south, but this would likely be probably extended further north, because this cell is trying to move out of this region, moving more northeast versus east. So yes, Johnson City would likely be in the line of fire under that polygon here shortly, as this is going to be continue to move, northeast here. Yeah, moving about 30 miles an hour. Yes, and then Illinois is unfortunately just having a very destructive region. Let me just touch on this area real quick, because we've seen numerous large tornadoes tonight. We've got several tornado warnings even as we speak. We've had several confirmed tornadoes already, and just some significant, massive hail up to 4 inches diameter for them. So they've seen numerous destructive hail up here, elongated along the warm front. You can see one, two, three, four, couple confirmed tornadoes even right now. So yes, it's a very, very active night. If we zoom out, you can see the tornado watch extends from Texas essentially all the way to Milwaukee, getting into areas of Michigan. So it's a very large event tonight, and it's going to continue really into the overnight hours, at least through 2 o'clock is the main severity before these things probably likely starts to weaken a little bit. And I think you'll still get heavy rain even after 2 o'clock because we have this main system. It's literally still out here in El Paso, so it's basically sending spokes of energy out ahead of it. These little short waves, but it's really not until tomorrow morning. I mean, we're talking after sunrise that this system just finally kind of starts moving and gets near North Texas or maybe even just south of there. And we're still going to get even some heavier rain even in the morning time. I feel like in Dallas and parts of the Metroplex, probably not severe, but some of those could still be strong side. And it won't be until at least mid morning before those move off into East Texas. And then I think that's when they'll kind of blow up again with some daytime heating. And so we've got, like an elevated tornado risk in the Southeast Texas tomorrow towards the Houston region into East Texas. And those shift into Louisiana. And that will just slingshot all the way to Pittsburgh tomorrow. So it's a 2-day event, really. It all just kind of starts out West Texas today up to Illinois and to the Milwaukee region, and then it shifts, further east tomorrow towards East Texas, and then Louisiana all the way up into areas of through Kentucky, through those areas in West Virginia, and up there towards Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's a 2-day dynamic setup, and even on Thursday, they still could get some bumpy weather along the Carolina coast, southern Georgia, those areas in South Carolina, North Carolina. So, yeah, it's definitely a very dynamic system. And but I think that might be it after that. I mean, I'm not really seeing any type of severe weather. We're going to go into a dry spell for at least 10 days, maybe 2 weeks or so. Um, I'm just not really seeing it's a very west aggression. The jet stream will be lifting well to Canada, and it's just a dry slide across the middle part of the country. So, but yeah, everything's active tonight. So we got to get through this first before the calm really starts to settle in. So we still have a lot of severe weather to come tonight. And that's why we're actually doing some live storm coverage right now. And so I plan on being with you till about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we just settle in. We're going to be watching this storm, and obviously has a lot of lightning with this particular setup. And again, we're just kind of waiting for this to kind of move across the Metroplex, and hoping it does in fact weaken as it moves across, because that's been the forecast all for a while now. As the further east you live, I guess the less severity you're going to be able to experience tonight. So we'll just watch. We'll just have to see if that does in fact kind of play out. But right now, they're still definitely on the strong side. We've got some significant 70-mile-per-hour winds elongated along this line. And this has about 4 more minutes for this warning. So that does in fact mean Fort Worth will be next. So in the next 5 minutes, the city of Fort Worth will likely be under that severe thunderstorm warning for the next 45 minutes with this kind of a Boeing feature, likely some 70, if not 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this line as it's going to move across. So if you live in the city of Fort Worth, and if you're listening to me right now, you probably need to secure all loose objects out there, just the best of your capability. And it's probably a good idea maybe to put the car in the garage, if you have that capacity. You never know when you can spin up some isolated larger hailstone. Again, even the dynamics, could produce a 2, maybe even some 3-inch hailstones out here towards Fort Worth. I mean, the atmosphere is still kind of prime. So that could easily happen, and some damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour is definitely not out of the question. Of course, we're actually even seeing that right now. So right now, this line's got some half dollar size hail. That's 1.25 inches, some 65, some 70 mile per hour winds with this. and it's a little bit pushing off further off to the east and on the northern side because it's kind of bowing out. And you can see the southern flank of this storm, it's more or less linear. It's not a bowing feature. So those winds aren't going to be as significant in the Stephenville region, down towards Brownwood, out towards Comanche. That will be moving into Hamilton, Meridian, down towards Granbury here shortly. Hey, Lexi. Yes, they did in fact issue the severe thunderstorm watch for areas of McKinney. Denton is Denton's under the tornado watch. McKinney's under a severe thunderstorm watch. So they still have the capability of seeing a tornado or two. They still have the capability of getting some 70-mile-per-hour winds up to, and still have the capability of producing some up to 2-inch diameter hail. So hey, Shauna. Hey, what time is it going to hit McKinney? Well, I mean, it's look at the leading edge. I mean, we're past Bridgeport. I think, obviously we're only have 4 more minutes. We got 1 more minute. So Denton County will be next too. Fort Worth and Denton County will likely be under that severe thunderstorm warning here, and we'll really in about a minute or two. And then of course McKinney will be next. So I would probably say about 10 o'clock. That's a good guesstimate. It's coming in a little bit faster than what I was thinking, because again, it's kind of bowing out, is going to be moving a little bit faster off to the east. So obviously it'll get these cities a little bit sooner as well. So there's going to be a lot of back building behind this. It's just not this one little skinny squall line and that's it. There's a lot to be filling in as these continue to kind of push in and train in like these waves and waves of energy, because again, the main system is still out towards El Paso. Okay, this isn't just a quick push one and done. It's the main system is still out in El Paso, so all that has to move through North Texas before you can actually throw in the towel, and that will be it. So it's going to be a long night of I would think it's still going to be raining even by sunrise. It's still going to be raining here in parts of North Texas here. Hey, is Sherman going to get anything bad? Yeah, Sherman's just a little bit further north, and they do in fact are under that tornado watch. So I mean, you're further north, so you're going to get this line a little bit sooner than the ones further south. So the tornado watch has the potential to produce up to 3-inch diameter hail, probably for you since you're the furthest east. Likely not that big, but still maybe 2 inches. Get some 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, not out of the question. Getting maybe a spin up tornado or two is not out of the question. I mean, with these moving a little bit fast, I mean, some of these tornadoes, unfortunately, can probably go a little bit undetected. These QLCS tornadoes are very quick. I mean, they spin up and pulse down very quick. They might be only out there for possibly even a minute or two. Most of them are. So they typically are small. They typically are the EF0, EF1 type variety. If you get one of these QLCS tornadoes, so so obviously we'll try to detect these. The National Weather Service will try to detect these as best as possible. But again, with these types of setups and this features, some of these may in fact go undetected, and then it's not until they do the storm surveys over the next couple of days that they determine, oh yeah, there was in fact a small little spin up tornado, and oh, there was another one. So yeah, I would not definitely be surprised if something like that happened. But you can see we had some destructive hail earlier. We had some baseball size hail confirmed in the city of Stevens. And then we also had more hail reports from storm spotters out there of more storms producing some of that baseball size hail. We had a golf ball size hail report south of Graham, and we had a confirmed tornado south of southeast of Abilene there, and that was an observed tornado that was on the ground earlier. We also had another confirmed tornado by the city of Del Rio, further south, almost to Mexico there. And then we still have that tornado warning. So we talked about the city of Johnson City earlier, and we're still eyeing this tornado warning further south, not confirmed, but it's still, we have a ton of rotation that down there, and it's still producing some significant hail within this corridor. So I would imagine, yeah, maybe just south between Blanco and Johnson City would likely get some of that golf to tennis ball size hail, along with some rotation further south. Hey, Harvey, it started to rain in the city of Weatherford. Appreciate the report. Yep, there's city Weatherford. You can see a ton of lightning with this. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those nights. I mean, if you are home, I would advise you to stay home. It's probably not worth trying to get out in this mess if you don't really have to, and just let it clear for the evening. So if you are out and about, and if there's a way you can maybe hightail at home, I would definitely advise that, because it's definitely no fun trying to be out on the roads, trying to drive in torrential rains and blinding lightning and possible quick spin up tornadoes. And yeah, it's just one of those evenings that you might want to cut it short, and don't take your time, and get home, as best as safe as possible, to put yourself out of harm's way as best as possible out there. And just be comfortable in your home tonight, and then you can do things tomorrow, but tomorrow night it'll be totally fine. Mhm. Hey, Salina, from what I heard, about 9:45 to 9 o'clock. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's moving fairly decently fast. I mean, we're just waiting for this to be issued in Denton. So I'm waiting for Fort Worth to be issued. I'm waiting for Denton County to be issued for the next severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, Oak Point would be in the crosshairs with this as well. I mean, not too many people in the metroplex. It's about 90% coverage. So you're really not going to miss out, at least on the rain on this setup. I mean, it's a squall line. You're going to have some high wind gust of along the line of, essentially from Del Rio all the way to Oklahoma City. So anywhere in between, you're likely going to get at least some rain, at least some high winds, and can't guarantee hail, because the slight risk is about 15% coverage. So the enhanced risk is about 30% coverage. So that means 70 or 85% you won't actually even see any hail, which is kind of a good thing. So again, you've seen the ones that have seen some hail, and it's destructive. So you really don't want this stuff. I mean, so there's definitely a lot of hell out there. It just, obviously not everybody gets it, but where you do get it, it's caused some significant damage. I mean, you get some baseball size hail, you get some softball size hail hitting your car, your home, anything it touches, it's going to do massive destruction in a short amount of time. So it's definitely not fun having to deal with that. So all right, so we're getting some confirmed reports of a quarter-inch hail down towards Springtown. So we had an amateur radio spotter did, in fact, with ground truth, not just radar, determining that about a 1-inch hailstone fell in the city of Springtown as this line is continue to move off to the east here. Hey Jay, will Melissa be expected to get hammered? What is the ETA for us? Thanks, brother. Yeah, Melissa's just north of McKinney there. I mean, this Boeing feature will likely be there for 10:30, I would say. So this is expected to go to about 2 o'clock. So you're going to get waves and waves of potential severe weather. Okay, so it just hadn't shown up yet. It'll probably be in the next 30 seconds or so with the severe thunderstorm warning for Denton. But yeah, not too many people are going to be missing out on this storm. It just really just hasn't, like I said, the timing on this is, if you lived east of I-35 was, after dark. I mean, 9 to 2 o'clock. It really hasn't changed over the last 2 days, folks. Everything kind of played out pretty nicely today. I mean, we had some cloudy skies. We had some rain earlier. A little bit of rain showers earlier, and then all eyes looked out west. Storms started to pop, really started to explode down towards Del Rio very quickly, rapid upscale growth. And then it formed that kind of a squall line around 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And then that's when some of the tornadoes started to come to fruition. We actually even started to clear out and get a little bit of sun in North Texas as well. We shot up to 82 degrees. Yes, another day in the 80s. So it's been, yeah, it's just been very warm out there. I think the low was what, 68 this morning. It's crazy, crazy warm. So yeah, just waiting for the storms tonight to bring some much needed rain, and hopefully it doesn't get too bad here. Hey, how we looking at Lake Texoma? Timing and severity, please. Well, Lake Texoma, again, we're you're under that tornado watch, so timing is top, not terribly too far, maybe an hour or so, as these continue to move across. The leading edge is Montague, to Decatur, moving fairly quickly here. So it's going to be in, Lake Texoma towards that, 10:30 time frame, extending into 2 o'clock. So this is kind of your first wave that will move across, and you've got more. You got more building. So I do feel, again, you're going to have kind of waves and waves. This isn't just the only squall line that's going to move through tonight. Hey, Kingston, Oklahoma, same time frame. Yeah, roughly. I mean, these storms, I mean, we'll just look at these further north. This one's moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So they're moving fairly quickly. Again, the areas that you see the buckling, the bow echo type feature, those are going to be moving a little bit faster than the ones further south. So the northern branch is going to kind of get out ahead of the southern branch of the storm. So if you live, say, north of Highway 380, you're likely going to see the storms sooner than the ones that are further south of there, just because of the bowing feature. And those are likely moving, towards that 45-mile-per-hour range versus the 30-mile-per-hour range. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, Trenton's kind of the same deal. I mean, you're under that severe thunderstorm watch until 2 o'clock. You just had made it there. It's gonna be a while. It's at least maybe 11 midnight. I mean, you're east of McKinney there, so you're a pretty good ways off before you see anything in the city of Trenton. And they are going to be weakening. So the further these things move, the little bit weaker they are going to get into the evening time frame. So, hey, Kenneth. Yeah, what about Denison? Yeah, Denison's, again, another one that's under that, tornado watch until 2 o'clock in the morning, and a little bit higher coverage, again, because you're closer to that bowing feature in Grayson County there. So yeah, you're probably going to be under tornado, severe thunderstorm warning, maybe after 10:30 time frame would be likely there. Well, I mean, we still have the severe thunderstorm watch until 2 o'clock. I mean, you'll still have waves and waves of storms that'll just kind of move through. So you're still, I mean, again, you can't roll out. If you have a quick spin up tornado, it's just not out of the question. So hey, weather made it through with heavy rains and winds. No hail here. Thank you. Hey, Pal mentioned multiple waves. Is this the most severe wave going through? Yeah, I mean, I still think we'll have severity till 2 o'clock. So this is 9 o'clock. I don't want to get ahead of myself. They have the warnings out they have the watches out for a reason. So the watches go until 2 o'clock, and we're still going to be capable of getting some severe storms through the 2 o'clock in the morning time frame. So that's a pretty good jaunt away. That's another 5 more hours. So we're, the dynamics are still there. That it's, again, this main system is well west. That's why we're sending spokes and spokes of energy. It's literally by El Paso right now. So the main system is well west. Now, if the main system was right over us and moving east, I would say, yeah, the severity is going to go down after the squall line. But I can't I can't guarantee you that with a system well west of this. Mhm. Hey, is McKinney Princeton under severe thunderstorm watch? Yes, they are, Aaron. Yeah, they're under a watch. Just means conditions are favorable. Nothing happening imminently right now as a warning. But again, you will be getting the storms. It just hasn't made it to you, and they're moving. Like I said, fairly quickly. So they're past Decatur. They're approaching Justin. I mean, they're going to be approaching Crum here shortly. So they're knocking on the doorstep of Denton County pretty quickly here. Gainesville, I mean Fort Worth. Fort Worth is now getting the edge. They're probably getting the gust front out ahead of the system. The winds are likely starting to pick up. You can see some of the purples starting to build here. So that's definitely an indication of some very heavy rain there, and all the lightning strikes elongated along this line. So there's again, it's just kind of pushing off to the east here. Hey, Laura. No, I'm probably not expecting the tornado watch. I mean, you still have even even with the severe thunderstorm watch, there's still a potential for tornadoes. That's primary threats. Scattered large hail, isolated very large hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Scattered damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. A tornado or two is possible within the watch area. So just because you're not into tornado watch doesn't mean you can't get a tornado or two. It's just you're going to get a little bit greater coverage, a little bit higher intensity in the tornado watch. That includes two, possibly up to 3 inch diameter hail and the watch area, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and again, a tornado or two. So really not much different, folks. Okay. So don't be, watches and tornado watches. Again, the watches just means the conditions are favorable. That's really all that means. It doesn't mean really anything else until you get a warning. Warnings are imminent. That means it's happening right now. And if you're in that address is in the polygon and you're in that zone, that's when you need to take shelter. That's when if you're under a tornado warning, you got to get in the shelter if you're in that polygon. A watch just means you basically just have to watch it. Doesn't mean anything's happening. You just have to watch it. Remember, we had a severe thunderstorm watch the other night. The cap held the entire time and nothing happened. So it doesn't guarantee anything happens with a watch. Okay. So we're just really concerned about the warnings. And but yeah, it just means conditions are favorable for a severe thunderstorm to break out. And yeah, it's every bit as favorable because we do have a line of severe thunderstorms out west of Fort Worth, and that's fairly significant. Right now, it's going to be in Denton here shortly. It's moving fairly quickly. It's knocking on the doorstep of the city of Fort Worth. It still has some 65, some 70-mile-per-hour winds with it. So on the backside approaching Denton, we're still getting the capability of some 70-mile-per-hour winds as this moves across. Hey, I'm going to take these watches off because I think it's just kind of cluttering the radar. So I think everybody kind of knows by now we're under a watch, and that's really not going to change. So mm, all right, come on. I thought I already moved it. Okay, so that's a little bit better. All right, so I think I felt like it was cluttering the radar a little bit. Hey, how fast are the winds on the leading edge of the line in specific Collin County or Denton, Collin County? Oh, it took off my warning. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's acting up on me. All right, let me get out and get back in. All right. Yeah, there we go. It's better now. All right. So yeah, now you can actually see the warnings. So yes, again, Denton is under that severe thunderstorm warning, some quarter size hail, some 65-mile-per-hour winds. We're talking southeastern Montague County, Wise County, Denton County, southern Cook County until about 10 o'clock. These are moving east 50 miles an hour. So again, these are actually speeding up a little bit faster now. Going to be in the city of Sanger, past it 9:15. So we're talking Lake Ray Roberts around 9:30, Pilot Point around 9:35. So as these continue to push across from west to east and then further south, then we've got the Fort Worth warning. Those again, 65-mile-per-hour winds, some quarter size hail potential with this line. As these move through, it's past the Fort Worth area now, moving at 50 miles an hour. Haltom City around 9:20, so it's knocking on your doorstep right now in Haltom City. Richland Hills, North Richland Hills, 9:25. The city of Hearst around 9:30, and now we're talking like the Hearst, Euless, Bedford, about 9:35. So now what that means is, I'm sure there's still, it's only 9:20. There's probably some flights. I mean, we're obviously, DFW here, it's in the crosshairs. They're likely going to have some ground stops here shortly. So if you're at the airport, you got a flight going, you got some pickups happening, that's not happening. All right. So they're probably making the decision right now to trying to halt the flights here because yeah, with the turbulence and the updrafts and you don't want to experience that when you're flying. So so they're going to have to take a pause at the DFW airport here shortly and wait for this to pass through before they can reset and get back up in the air here. So I just want to let you know that. Yeah, a lot of times, Christy, yeah, straight line winds. I mean, you make a good point. All right. So EF0 tornado is 65-mile-per-hour wind. So 65-mile-per-hour, 85-mile-per-hour winds. Straight line winds, 70 miles an hour, right? Not much difference, right? Straight lines, obviously just a bow feature, straight line winds moving across west to east. Tornado feature, 65-mile-per-hour, small spin up tornado. All that really means is same amount of winds. It's just the winds are now rotating. So it does a different type of damage versus just the straight line winds. But again, still type of, it can still cause the same damage, right? So I mean, I would feel the straight line wind setup is a more devastating event because it's more of elongated, it's more of a bigger area. Obviously, I realize a tornado is only a very small, compact area. So yeah, that would, damaging winds can do a lot of times a lot more damage than some couple spin up tornadoes can ever do because the squall line is a very long feature. It can cause a wide area of destruction, tree damage, shingle damage, wind driven damage, fence damage, all that type stuff is a lot more susceptible with on a wider scale basis than a little quick spin up tornado ever will be. Hey, how long will it until it hits the city of Prosper? Well, you're next in line. I mean, it's you got the severe thunderstorm warning in Denton. It goes for another 38 minutes. So obviously you would be next. So you're going to get it next. So I'd say a good guess would be 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in McKinney is definitely a good guess as these continue to push about 50 miles an hour here across the metroplex here. Hey, Roy, nice MCS. Hey, weather on the go. What's up, buddy? Everyone press the like button. Yes, absolutely. Here's my cheerleader. No, he's a great guy. He's actually, yeah. So he has another, you know, YouTube channel just like I do, right? Weather on the go. So yeah, definitely follow him. He's up in Illinois. He's tracking all those storms up there, all the craziness up there. Hey, Stars Game 6 has 6 minutes left to play. All those people be leaving the next 20 minutes. Oh no. That's no fun, folks. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to scramble to their cars and try to get out in this nightmare. I'm actually kind of hearing the thunder right now. I mean, I can actually hear it off in the distance here. Um, at my house. So I'm probably 30 miles away here from that leading edge, but I can already kind of hear that thunder out there. Hey, Daisy. Yeah, you're looking at Melissa again. Melissa's going to be probably under the severe thunderstorm warning towards about 10 o'clock, and probably in the city of Melissa towards maybe like 10:20 or so. I would fair to say, because you're kind of northeast of McKinney. So terribly not too far away. These are moving about 50 miles an hour. It is approaching the city of Denton, across the Loop 288, and it's moving, 50 miles an hour. So you can kind of do the math. It's about 30 miles to Denton, and it's moving at 50 miles an hour. Hey, super windy and some rain. Yeah, I think if anything, if you don't receive a tornado tonight, which I hope you don't. I mean, again, this is mainly, going to be a big time damaging wind threat. So there's going to be a squall line with some very windy conditions elongated along this line. And, 60, 65, 70 miles an hour along this line as it pushes in. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I can hear the wind and the thunder out there in McKinney. Hey, do you think that Allen's going to get some good storms? Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much the entire metroplex is probably going to see a good 1 to 2 inches. I would fair to say, and again, the more areas are able to train, and depends on how much is able to develop on the backside with these waves of precipitation. Probably not out of the question some 3 4 inch amounts. But by the time we get in the mid morning, probably not out of the question either. Well, I mean, the exact hail reports are not like instant, but yes, behind it, the last update, we had some quarter size hail that was at 8:46. So that was, I don't know what, 40 minutes ago. So these are reported by storm spotters that are out there, right? So I mean, so anybody that's out there that's certified to be a storm spotter out there are given back reports, and then of course the National Weather Services issues it. But you can see the difference, right? We've had some massive hail out west. This is some baseball size hail south of Graham here, south of Breckenridge, and then kind of weakened a little bit, and then you get into these golf ball size. You get some quarter size hails, but yeah, it's been a little bit since we've had a report, but doesn't mean we haven't seen any. I can switch it to the hail mode. I mean, we're getting some hail. I mean, we're getting some hail along this line. Now, again, it could be some pea size, some nickel size, some dime size, and up to quarter. So I'm not seeing anything like craziness out in the Denton, Fort Worth. But some of those could be up to quarter size, not out of the question, especially where you see some of these red areas of Ponder, the city of Justin here, just northwest of Crum. Let me switch. Yeah, here's a health detector about an hour ago. So So the city of Mineral Wells, had about an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half. So that's anywhere from quarter to ping pong. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks so much. And then of course, the last 4 hours. Here's been some of the hell core over the last 4 hours tonight. So this kind of gives you an example. So yeah, we had a supercell that formed in Del Rio and it lifted northeast, dropped some very significant. This was a nasty supercell, anywhere from 70-mile-per-hour winds, some golf ball size hail. We had a tornado touchdown. We had some 2-inch hail, and then it blew up a even 4-inch hail down towards Leakey. That was west of the city of San Antonio, and then baseball size hail. So that was probably the most significant supercell of the evening. And then further north, you've had these kind of tracks as well. And then there was another supercell towards the city of Abilene that also spun up another confirmed tornado. So that was the second one, at least at right now at the moment tonight, that's been confirmed. And then it also blew up some baseball size hail as well. And then we also had some fairly significant hail over Mineral Wells. That was about 2 inches, 2.5 inches north of Mineral Wells. And then it kind of weakened as it got towards the Bridgeport, Weatherford region. So that's kind of where we stand, at least on the hail front. All right, so I just got a lightning detected 20 miles from my house on my Tempest. So it's definitely getting closer. I'm in actually West McKinney myself. Hey, thank you for taking the time to inform us all. Yeah, you're welcome, Stephanie. Now 18 miles ahead, away. So yeah, it's getting into Corinth, Denton. It's basically over downtown Denton right now with this squall line. This squall line is some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Going to be approaching that, the DFW airport here in probably about 15 minutes or so, as it'll be knocking on its door. So yeah, downtown Fort Worth's getting slammed right now. It's about to approach Flower Mound here shortly. The city of Corinth, and then of course further north into Gainesville. Then you're talking, Crum, Sanger, Valley View. Those areas are feeling the higher wind gust here. Yeah, what about Prosper? So we have this warning. It's going to be expiring about 30 minutes or so. That's at 10 o'clock. And this would likely be extended further off to the east. So it would include the city of Prosper, Salina, Melissa, Anna, McKinney. All those areas would likely be under a severe thunderstorm warning, probably 10 minutes after 10, somewhere in that vicinity, 30, 40 minutes from now. Yeah, and then we also had some pretty significant weather in Oklahoma. I think, I mean, I know they were under a tornado warning. I thought we even had a confirmed tornado up there. But yeah, pretty significant hail through Oklahoma City. Some, again, baseball size hail, ping pong, tennis ball size hail, all kinds of golf ball size hail, just north of Oklahoma City there tonight. And then it just stacked up. It went across Kansas, and then it started shifting northeast. And then you had another clustered north of Kansas City. I mean, look at that. Look at all that destruction there. Golf ball, tennis ball, baseball. I mean, higher than that. You had some 3.25 inches. And then, of course, once you get into Illinois and Indiana, I mean, look at this train track of tornadoes that unfolded. And there are probably going to be a lot more by the time they do all the surveys. So very, very significant. And then, of course, the severe thunderstorms moved all the way into Michigan, right? This is they had a fatality there, a couple fatalities with the storm they had a couple days ago in Michigan there. So it's just been an early start, very active early start to spring here for the first week, and luckily things are still going to start cooling off here after this event ends, tomorrow. So by Thursday, then it's basically off the Carolina coast, and then I think everybody will be kind of drying out. Hey, how about Forney? So yeah, you are a little bit further south, so it's not moving as fast further south. So it's going to be, even further away for you. So I mean, I think you're still going to get it. It's just going to be maybe another 2 hours or so by the time it actually makes it to you. So you're talking 11:30 or so. That's just the beginning stages of it. So still pretty good ways away for you. Yes, I definitely feel I know you had a tornado warning. I didn't get confirmation that that one actually touched down and had was a confirmed tornado. I'm not seeing it in the report, so that's why I'm not breathing. I know definitely we had a tornado warning. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing? Salina, Gunner area region. So yeah, I mean the leading edge is in Denton. It's actually a little bit past Denton now. So yeah, there's the city of Gunner. There's Howell. We got Salina a little bit further south. So yeah, probably not terribly too far away. We've got some trying to protrude out of the leading edge. There in Aubrey here, just north of 380. So about 30, 45 minutes, 30 minutes or so going to be in your area. Hey, thank you, pal. Starwood is Lightning City. Yeah, well, and Hail City. I think Starwood. If I'm thinking about Starwood, that's Alma. Is that Stacy and Alma? That area? Um, they've had some crazy hail over the years. Hey Gunner, hey Kevin, tornado in the Gunner area possible? Yeah, I mean the whole watch and warning area. There's all the whole metroplex has the potential of producing a quick spin up tornado. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it definitely has at least the potential for it to happen. And any one of these could spin up here. So that's why we're kind of just watching this squall line and see if we just kind of see anything that shows rotations at times. So again, with these setups and moving 30, 40, 50 miles an hour and these squall line events, some of these QLCS tornadoes only quickly spin up for a minute or two. And sometimes again, these things can go undetected if you get a little bit of a quick spin up tornado that's only on the ground for maybe a minute or so. Very hard to detect something like that, and then moves up. And so maybe it's not really until sometimes after, and then you do all these surveys that you really get the true impact of actually what unfolded. Yeah, I mean these are actually definitely weakening. I mean these weren't. I mean we had some when I first started coming on live here. We had some 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts that we're talking west of Graham, and then it weakened to 70 miles an hour, then went to 60 miles, 65 miles an hour. Now we have some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts over Denton and Fort Worth. So they are weakening as they move further to the east, which is what we expected. That's why the Storm Prediction Center had the strongest storms in the enhanced risk west of I-35 and had the most significant wind gust, hail threat, tornado threat west of 35. And then that slight risk was essentially east of 35. I mean, some included some areas, but essentially east of 35 on the weaker side. And that's kind of like what we're seeing. I mean, now some of these are past the I-35 here. This is I-35. We're definitely seeing that weakening trend. So, all right. So it looks like we did, in fact, issue the severe thunderstorm warning for um, Grayson County and Collin County. So let's go over these. So we do have some 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we have that severe thunderstorm warning just now issued for Grayson County, so Collin County, northern Dallas County, northeastern Cook County, Grayson County. They're all under that severe thunderstorm warning. Wow, 55 miles an hour. So it's even booking it faster now. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, more of a wind threat as it moves across, and some quarter-size hail potential. So they issued the severe thunderstorm warning for Grayson and Collin County, parts of Dallas County. So it's going to be near the city of Grapevine, Capel, Whitesboro, Callisburg, those areas, DFW Airport, 940. So that's why we target the ground. City of Collinsville, 945, Dallas, those areas in Addison, Prosper area, 950, McKinney region, about 955. So I was off by 5 minutes. and then Sherman, 10 o'clock. So that kind of gives you an idea as this squall line is continuing to pick up in speed. We've seen it go from 30 to 40 to 45 to 50, now 55 miles an hour. These things are really booking it and kind of racing across. So it's a fairly big area under the warning because it's just moving so quickly. So it does in fact include all of Sherman, Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Garland, even northern branches of Dallas County under that severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, there's my weather call. So that's my the weather call, and alerting me that my area is in that polygon. So it's the weather call. Some of you signed up, appreciate it. There's the link actually if you want to sign up. So it gives you, actually you saw this real time. So they issued the severe thunderstorm warning. Then I got a phone call saying, hey, you need to get in your shelter. So, and then now we talked about flash flooding. So when they actually issued a flood warning. So again, this squall line can produce some training thunderstorms that could produce flooding rain. So I'm getting the flood warning now. So I've got the severe thunderstorm warning, I'm getting the flood warning. So we're talking Tarrant, Denton, Dallas, Collin counties, all under a flood warning until not 12:45. So another 3 hours. So they're kind of implying this again, like I mentioned, it's not just this squall line that's moving through. We're going to be seeing waves and waves of energy here, and the atmosphere has the potential to produce some 1.5 to 2 inch per hour rain rates. I mean, it's going to come down at a pretty big clip fast. So areas of Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Corinth, those areas into Garland, Irving, Grand Prairie, Mesquite, McKinney, Carrollton, Frisco, Denton, Richardson, Louisville, Flower Mound, those areas into Rowlett, Euless, and DeSoto are all under the flood warning, for the next 3 hours or so, as these will be moving through the metroplex, producing some pretty heavy rain. So that's why if you're home, you don't it's not fun. I mean, you just want to go out and experience this. So not only are we dealing with some higher wind gusts now, the potential for some larger hail, now we have the torrential rain aspect to deal with. So if it comes down pretty quickly, you obviously the ground is still fairly dry. It's not, if it we get things all or nothing around here, and so yeah, that's why I'm like, it's probably not out of the question, 1 to 2 inches, but there's probably going to be some areas 3-4 inches of rain by the time all this is said and done. Yeah, so we did have another ground report. This is another ground report from a ground spotter up by Gainesville. Just reported at 9:35, so that was 7 minutes ago, folks. 66 miles an hour. So 66 miles an hour confirmation from a storm spotter on the ground along just north of the city of Gainesville. So we are getting confirmation that these winds are still there, folks. It's still pretty gusty. 66 miles an hour is nothing to sneeze at, and those are going to be racing across 55 miles an hour and moving through Grayson County, McKinney, Plano, Garland, this leading edge. If we kind of zoom in here, yeah, so it's approaching Little Elm. It's through the city of Flower Mound. It's knocking on the doorstep 940 of the DFW airport, and so the next in line is going to be Frisco. So Frisco is next in line after Little Elm, as these are good, continue to move through the heart of the metroplex. Hey Danielle, is Allen looking good? Well, they just issued that severe thunderstorm warning for Allen for another out 30 minutes or so. So, and does in fact, have some 60-mile-per-hour wind potential with it, with this squall line that's going to be approaching your area probably in the next 20 minutes or so. So it's got to go through Little Elm, Frisco, and then parts of McKinney, and then of course Allen right here is the city of Allen. Hey Chase, yeah, I got your call, pal. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks so much for signing up. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They actually just added all the winter warnings too. So that when we go back in winter again, if we ever are under a winter storm warning again, then you'll get a call for that. So you get it for flood. There's like 7 warnings. You get severe thunderstorm warning, obviously tornado warning, confirmed tornado. That's a different type of warning. And then flooding. You have flooding rains, and then emergent flash flood emergency, and then tornado emergency. That's usually when we have a significant tornado on the ground. So, and then of course all the flood warnings that are unfolding, then all the winter warnings that can happen. So essentially anything, if your address is in that polygon, it gives you a heads up. You can get the phone call, you get a text, you get an email. Really, it's up to you. If you want to get all 3, you can. And then you can set up 2 lines on it as well. So my wife's got it. So I don't have to tell her. So she knows it. It's under a warning. She got the phone call, right? So I mean, there's no tornado on the ground in Texas. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any warnings in Oklahoma. I mean, sure, there's probably some tornadoes in Illinois, but yeah. Hey, thank you for service, pal. You're the man, Steven. Hey, appreciate it. No problem. Yeah, it's March 10th. Ironically, last year severe weather started March 4th, in which that was the first event was March 4th for us. So it's by it's identical to last year. Sometimes people say, "Oh, it came in early this year." No, it really didn't. Actually, it's exactly the same as last year. Um, so and then we get a little bit of a break, and we'll obviously have more storms. This is just the beginning. Um, obviously just the beginning of storm season. Typically, April is a wet month. May is the wettest month. It's the windiest month. So we're gonna have a lot of windy days ahead. So you get a lot of winds in the month of April. You get even higher winds in the month of May. So that's typically when you can get the most significant storms, April and May. You can get the biggest hail, you can get the highest wind gust, you get these northwest flow type of events, and then you get into June. That's when you get these overnight setups that kind of blow up across the Rockies and then travel northwest and down southeast, and you get these overnight squall lines that race in here at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. and can be basically a damaging wind threat, kind of like what this is. But and then you kind of dry it, then you kind of dry out for July and you get into the summer. So so you're feeling the wind right now? Yeah. So I mean, if you're outside, I mean, this will come in pretty quickly since these things are moving at 55 miles an hour here. So these things are booking it. So I'm getting all my warnings here. And of course all my weather stuff on my so when there was a when there was a severe thunderstorm watch earlier, I have about 20 updates. Bing bing, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch. It's like, hey, just got the severe weather call from your call service and Melissa, so worth purchasing it. Hey Julia, hey, appreciate it, thanks for getting it. Glad it's going to keep you safe tonight. And so we're going to kind of getting dual coverage. So it's definitely good to know. And that's basically when you want to get a heads up, right? I mean, we got a damaging wind threat. So we've got the leading edge of the squall line moving through. So it's let me look at it velocity mode here. So yeah, so it's kind of mainly a damaging wind threat. That's kind of like what all I see at the moment. So as this continues to move through. So I mean, I could probably tell you, just based on experience, obviously, the further east these move, especially now that we're getting this flood warning, we haven't really got the heavy rain yet. And but you know, once this rain starts and it kind of trains over the same areas, we'll likely make a transition to from damaging wind hail threat to more of a heavy rain threat. So we'll just have to watch this play out. We haven't even got the rain yet. So but there are more storms trying to build southeast. So that's what I'm saying. This isn't the first wave. There is more activity building from that because again, this main system is still well west here. I mean, this system's well west. So we still got to get that's why we have the flood warnings and the flooding concerns because this is just kind of the first wave that's moving through. We're getting more moisture starting to build where they had the storms earlier. So if you continue, this is all going to lift northeast here. Yeah, if I switch radars, you can actually see it better. So yes, this is your main squall line right here, right? But then we've got all this building to the southwest, and all that is going to feed, and that's where the flash flooding threat can become a problem because you start feeding this into areas that have gotten heavy rain. This is when you get the training aspect of storms in the overnight hours. So this is what you really have to be concerned about as these you know really start to kind of fill in off to the southwest, and as it's moving into an area that's already been hit with heavy rain. That's when you transfer out of a damaging wind hail into more of a rain threat and heavy rain threat, flash flooding threat. Hey, I don't hear the rain right now. Strong winds in Frisco. I appreciate the report. Yeah, so the leading edge is entering Frisco here as it continues to push off to the east. Yeah, you can see there is DFW Airport now, so they are locked solid in the red. So yeah, they're definitely probably having a ground stop right now. Just very heavy rain and in Dallas DFW here. It hasn't updated, but yeah, it looks like they just got a wind gust of 46 miles an hour. That was about 10 minutes ago, and at the DFW airport. But there's always like a 10-minute delay, so it's not instant. Hey, Jasmine and Aubrey off 1385. Pouring rain, very strong winds. East McKinney, any possible tornadoes? Yeah, I mean, it's again, we're under that severe thunderstorm watch. We do have a tornado watch in areas. You could always get like a little quick spin up tornado. Hey, Mike, you're right. Recorded 58-mile-per-hour winds in Oak Point. Hey, appreciate the report. Yeah, that definitely sounds about right. I mean, yeah, the more reports out there. There's Decatur, 67 miles an hour. That's at 9 o'clock. That was about an hour ago. So yeah, hey, I'd love it. I mean, we're all kind of storm spotters when you think about it, So I want to hear what's happening in your neck of the woods. So if you got something to report, if you got any type of hail, you got any type of winds, yeah, definitely let me know. Let me know if it's starting to rain at your house, what you're kind of seeing out there. Because obviously, I can look at the radar all day long, and but I can only see so much. I mean, nothing beats ground truth, right? I mean, you got someone on the ground saying, "Hey, no." I mean, I could see the hail falling, but what's actually reaching the surface? That's the type of stuff I want. Hey, major wind right now and rain in Frisco. Yeah, so you're getting that squall line. You're getting that 60-mile-per-hour winds that's moving across the tollway here. So looks like the leading edge is just past the tollway now, entering Prosper. So north of 380, Prosper, Salina. It's going to be pretty windy here in the next couple of minutes in those cities. And I just got another notification. Okay, raining in 20 minutes. So that sounds about right at my house in McKinney. So that's at 10:20, 10:15. Hey, I'm on the border of Collin and Denton County here, Caesar. Yeah, if you're just kind of tuning in, folks, we are watching a squall line that's moving through, the Metroplex here, and we do in fact have a severe thunderstorm warning for Grayson, Collin, and parts of Dallas County with this wind threat that's moving pretty quickly across the Metroplex, about 50 miles an hour. We are all getting confirmation, some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Earlier, we had 67, 70, if not 80-mile-per-hour winds further off to the west. And then we also have a renewed flood threat. So we've got a flash flood warning as we have the initial line that's moving through. And we are expecting waves and waves of precipitation to trail behind this. There's a lot of activity building off to the southwest. So the flood warning goes for another 3 hours or so, almost to 1 o'clock in the morning. So they are definitely expecting more heavy rain to move into Tarrant County, Dallas County, Denton County, Grayson County, Collin County, and over the next 3 hours here. All right, so it updated. Okay, 52 miles an hour. So that was at 9:48. DFW Airport reported 52-mile-per-hour winds at 9:48. Visibility is down to 1.5 miles. And they are reporting heavy rain. Oh, that's interesting. The dew point dropped to 57. They dropped about 10 degrees with this rain. So, that's that'll knock the wind out of it too. So you get that heavy rain, it pulls down some cooler air aloft. The temperature dropped down about 10 degrees there. Now that can be fairly significant. That's going to probably put the squash on the severity here. especially if it pulls down that colder air. So that's probably what we're seeing, folks. As this moves into Collin and parts of Dallas, east of 35 here, we are seeing that weakening trend. We are seeing it as we speak, and we're getting confirmation now because now that the rain has started, it's dropping about 10 degrees in a fairly short amount of time. So that's pulling down some of the colder air aloft to the surface, and so obviously that's going to stabilize the atmosphere a little bit as with that second wave that's going to come through. So we might be in the beginning stages of transferring from those higher wind threat and to a heavy rain threat. Now we're still going to get high winds for a while because you have what they call collapsing thunderstorms that's trying to weaken. So the winds have to rush down from up above down to the surface. So you still can get some pretty strong wind gusts with that, and for a while, even though they are kind of weakening. Yeah, so we still have the watch out till 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, winds, rain, thunder, lightning here in Sutton Fields, Salina borderline, Aubrey area. So nothing in Lucas right now other than wind. Yeah. So yeah, not raining in Lucas at the moment. So you're probably about an hour away there. It's east of 75, and then a little bit further south as well. So yeah, that line basically is just in Plano, Frisco right now into Carrollton. Hasn't rained in McKinney. It hasn't rained a drop at my house. I haven't heard any rain yet. But it was also estimated around 10:15. Hey, Prosper, we have rain and some wind. Yep, there is the city of Prosper there. So you're obviously locked into the orange and reds. So you're definitely getting some of those winds now and the heavier rains. Hey, the western part of McKinney has already got the rain. Yeah, it just depends on where you live in McKinney, right? I mean, obviously McKinney's fairly big. But yeah, here's the line. You got Prosper. You've got there's Custer. So right, so here's Custer. That's pretty much the dividing line between Frisco and McKinney is Custer here. Hey, no rain yet in Melissa. Yeah, so Melissa's still a good a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes away. I mean, it hasn't even rained in McKinney yet. Waiting around here in Lowry Crossing. Barbecue weather out here in Roy City. That's true. I mean, you're in East Texas. That's it's gonna be a while. Um, but that just means it's later for you, and that means you probably get some of that stuff tomorrow. So just because you're not getting anything now doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Hey, 42-mile-per-hour wind gust in West Plano near Custer 121. Definitely appreciate the report. Yeah, the high was 82 today. Remember, we are going to have a cold front, but I don't think that cold front's anywhere close yet. I don't think the cold front actually moves through until tomorrow. Yeah, it's still pretty far back. Yeah, cold front's west of Abilene there. Yeah, so that's going to be the culprit too to kick off more showers on tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. So this cold front's got to move through. So the main system has to move through, and then the cold front has to move through before you can say, "Hey, we're 100% done." So we still got a ways to go here. But yeah, it should clear out fairly nice by Wednesday afternoon, as most of the severe threat shifts east into East Texas. You get the clearing in the backside, and then we'll cool down quickly. I mean, Thursday morning is roughly around near 40 degrees. Chilly morning, not too bad, but definitely on the chilly side. And then we'll rapidly warm up again. So we'll have these, we'll have pretty big swings in temperatures coming, folks. And like we talked about, as we will have a rapid warm up, probably by Sunday at some point, we'll hit 80s again. But then that's when that strong cold front comes through Sunday afternoon, and temperatures plummet. Windy, cold. It'll feel like winter again around here. You wake up Monday morning, no joke. I mean, temps are in the 20s. I mean, not temps, but wind chills are in the 20s. We might have some freezes, frosties and freezes coming up for some outlying areas. Maybe not at DFW Airport exactly, but some outlying areas probably, at least get frost. Maybe some of them areas touch the freezing mark, but then the wind chills, because we'll still have some elevated winds, are going to be widespread 20s on Monday morning. And then we warm up a little on Tuesday for St. Patrick's Day, but it's still fairly cool. So we have two cold, if not cold days. And then it's a rapid warm up. And then it's quickly back to 85 degrees on Thursday. This will be next Thursday. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm just kind of telling you what's going to happen. And then we're going to be watching this ridge out west. So they're going to get close to 100 degrees. 99 is what's from official at the National Weather Service. So I mean, we're talking Los Angeles hitting 99 degrees on Friday, right? That's a massive ridge, and that ridge is going to be building and moving east over Arizona, and I think eventually makes it to Texas. So I do feel we could be close, if not hit 90 degrees by the following weekend. So that's definitely on the table. This is after we get the significant cold blast on Monday. All right, so that lightning's knocking on the door now. All right, so the leading edge is definitely in West McKinney now. So it's pouring in Gunner, pouring in Salina, Prosper, West McKinney region. It's crossing over. There's Whitney Place there, and yeah, Highway 380. I'm starting to hear the rain now, so it's starting to rain in my house. And then out towards there's Allen here shortly. There's Highway 75. This is 121 here. Yeah, so see what's happening. So you got the squall line, right? So you got pouring in DFW, and then we've got all this building. All this is building further south. And this is actually getting a little bit stronger as well. So we've got some special weather statements, not severe. This is just getting stronger. So this is kind of transferring into a heavy rain threat, as with this second wave going to be coming through after this first initial wave moves through. But yeah, a lot of lightning on the leading edge of this squall line. So you're definitely going to feel the wind. Obviously, you're going to hear the rain out there, pretty heavy at times. And like I mentioned, as we get the training here, we're going to get some flash, some flood warnings issued all the way till 12:45. Hey, it's getting loud and howl right now. Timing of the second wave. Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to have waves and waves. I mean, I think it's going to rain most of the night, folks. I mean, I'm not even joking. There's waves and waves and waves of rain, and it might not be severe. I mean, you could still have rumbles of thunder, some stronger thunderstorms, but yes, I feel like there's waves and waves again, because the main system's in El Paso. I mean, all this has to move through, and then at some point tomorrow we'll have a redevelopment. This, like, posted this morning, redevelopment as the storms, to start taking advantage of daytime heating on Wednesday. We'll have a setup. It's either going to blow up right over the Metroplex, or going to blow up right east of Highway 75, but storms should start to explode on sometime late Wednesday morning, going into Wednesday afternoon, with the main system moving overhead. So yeah, we have a long ways to go. I still feel like there's going to be a lot of rain to deal with and to talk about through probably the noon hour tomorrow. Hey, starting to hit in Plano, Haley. All right, so let's zoom into Allen here. So there's the city of Allen. So yeah, so it's crossing over 121 here. You see the deeper reds and yellows and some oranges here. There's Waters Creek. There's Highway 75. So this is the western sections of Allen. So it's going to be crossing over on to the east side here, and then of course further south, it's approaching Plano. It's already through Addison. It's through Carrollton, approaching the Richardson region, and then it's almost in Love Field. So you got Love Field here, or there's Irving. I mean, it's again, it's not bowing out, so it's not moving as quick further south. So it hasn't really even made it into Dallas yet, but it will. It's not just a matter of time. It's going through obviously DFW. Hey, just hit Trinity Falls now. Yeah, let's switch radars and kind of show you the big picture here because this all connects. You got Del Rio to Oklahoma City, so you've got this is starting to really fill in nicely here. So you got redevelopment further off to the southwest by San Angelo and Abilene. This activity is starting to be connected. It's a kind of growing upscale growth, and it's all moving northeast. So all this second wave, if you will, is lifting northeast and into the metroplex here. All right, so those again, those have some moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So 45 miles an hour moving northeast. 361 minutes. Wow. That can't be 6 hours. I guess it's possible 6 hours away. So that this second wave here, I mean, I'm just kind of giving an estimate, 361 minutes moving at 45 miles an hour. Yeah, so we have the watch that goes until 2 o'clock, and then we'll get the waves of moisture here. So let's look at some of the high resolution guidance. I haven't looked at myself in a while. So this is the latest update from the high resolution guidance. So let's just look at this together. All right. So this is the models that update like literally just kind of every hour. All right, so let's catch you up. So this is on the model de front. This is about 10 o'clock. This is where we're at right now. So right, so that's 10 o'clock. All right, so there's 11 o'clock. So this is what they call future radar, folks. This is future radar. This is 11 o'clock. So you can definitely see that it's a little bit stronger down here southwest. This is starting to really fill in, if you will, further southwest. There is midnight. So midnight, it's 2 hours away. So we still got some pretty good healthy rains over Dallas, McKinney, Sherman, Paris, Greenville, those areas, and south of Cleburne and all that area southwest. And then there's 1 o'clock, right? So that's what I'm saying. You got waves and waves and waves. That is 2 o'clock in the morning. So 2 o'clock in the morning, we're still getting some more heavy rain moving into Dallas, Weatherford, Cleburne, Dallas, Plano, McKinney, Denton. and you got all this building further southwest. So that was 2 o'clock in the morning. This is 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So this is 3 o'clock in the morning. You still got heavy rain over DFW, right? So I mean, this is it's gonna rain for a while, and then there's 4 o'clock in the morning. So still pretty good, scattered showers at least over. That's 5 o'clock in the morning. So we got 5 o'clock in the morning. There is 6 o'clock in the morning. So again, we're approaching almost sunrise on Wednesday. So this is 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. There's 8. There's 9. Now let's see where's the development. Okay, it's developing, but it's developing well east. Okay, so there's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. All right. So the latest update from the high resolution guidance has it essentially still raining through, sunrise tomorrow. So we still got a lot of rain coming. It's 10 o'clock, right? So and it doesn't get stronger again until it moves into East Texas. So the severe threat's going to ramp up again, and that'll move into East Texas, and so yeah, there's a lot of rain still to come tonight. And that's why we have the flood warning in place. That's why we have it going until almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Could even in fact get extended based on what we were looking at in the overnight hours with these waves and waves of precipitation that still has to move through. So obviously we do need the rain. We don't want it to flood or anything, but we definitely do need the rain. Hey Jay, just got slammed in Melissa, so it has in fact reached Melissa there. So there's Anna, there's Melissa, there's Highway 75. So appreciate the report. Yep. So this continues to push off to the east. So they did in fact let the severe threat, at least the severe warning expire. Now what we have what they call a mesoscale discussion. It's basically one level south of the severe thunderstorm warning. So still a strong storm, still has some 50-mile-per-hour winds with it, but it's not technically classified as severe. So it's still we're watching the weakening trend as we speak with this line, and it continues to kind of weaken the further east you go. So we still could get some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts moving through the eastern sides of McKinney, eastern sides of Plano, Garland, eastern sides of say Dallas there, and then of course Bonham, Greenville. All this will continue to push off to the east here. 75 and Melissa's getting some high winds right now. Hey, recovering from surgery, so really hoping it keeps weakening. Yeah, I feel like it will. I mean that was the forecast, and it's definitely coming to fruition. And we're definitely seeing the beginning stages of the transfer to from the hail threat to the wind threat to the heavy rain threat. So we are definitely seeing that come to fruition here. We had a couple tornadoes earlier. That was west. We don't really have any confirmation if anything else happened. I would not be surprised if they could add a couple more, but there was a ton of hail out west. I mean that enhance was justified. There's no question about it. That was every bit and then some. We had confirmation 4-inch hail out there. Um, we had wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour at times. That was exactly what the watch called for. The potential had the potential up to 4-inch hail max. It confirmed. It had potential of 80-mile-per-hour winds. It confirmed, and it had potential of a couple tornadoes, which it confirms. So, yeah, I mean, I got to get handed to the National Weather Service. They definitely nailed it, and then of course the Storm Prediction Center nailed the weakening as the system moved further east, and we're seeing that. I mean, we're still getting some heavy rain, a lot of lightning. I don't want to downplay it, but we're definitely seeing some heavy rain still moving through DFW Airport, moving through in the heart of Dallas here, moving through McKinney right now. So they're getting some of the higher wind gusts right now. So they're getting the you know, the heavy rains, the lightning out there, and the flooding aspect of the storm on the backside, especially as this second wave will start to get a little bit closer. But I can hear it out there. It's coming down pretty good. I mean, it really hadn't been raining at DFW Airport very long, and it's got almost a half inch already. So it's coming down at a pretty good clip. I mean, the visibility is only a mile and a half. So um, I think we are sitting at 1.65 on the month. We average about 3.3 for March. So there's left field. So it's pouring at left field. Um, oh, and DFW. Well, both of them really. So they're probably both having problems. Hey, storm and wind has died down. Does that mean the hail and tornado watch has expired for Burleson? Um, let me put the watches back on. I I don't see them. I don't see them lasting through 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll tell you that because the dynamics have greatly changed from an hour ago for sure. Um, um, it looks like they did. In fact, they let the tornado watch expire. Yeah, it looks at least on the western sides. It looks like they did in fact let the tornado watch expire, where most of the activity has been kind of weakened in the storm and dropping the 10 degrees there. And of course, they still have the severe thunderstorm watch east where it really hasn't impacted areas. But tornado watch has been issued for that's in Oklahoma. But yeah, parts of Texas. But there was one of them. I think it only went through 10. That was the one they issued earlier between 5 and 10 o'clock. But either way, um, we still have the severe thunderstorm watch. Hey, Kimberly, I really want a storm shelter. I can help you out with that. Yeah, just I mean, go on my Storm Hero my Storm Hero website, and I'll be happy to reach out to you. Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know, I actually have a second business. I actually co-own a company now called Storm Hero. So we do lightning rod protection systems, we do storm shelters, and we also do surge protectors. So I've had the business for about me and my partner about a year and a half now, and but yeah, we're able to help a lot of families out, and in fact, we got two installs tomorrow, and after the rains, of course. Hey, how's it looking for Plano? It's pouring right now. Do you think the sirens will be going off? No, I mean, I think the severe threat is definitely weakening. I mean, we're not even actually seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So, hey, Mildred, thanks for watching the live here. Yeah, I mean, we're not even actually seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings right now, so it's definitely weakening. I mean, these little special weather segments, we're getting 50-mile-per-hour winds, which is one step below the severe thunderstorm warning. Hey, it's crazy right now, and Anna, yeah, you're just in that main batch that's moving through, and there's definitely some deeper red still. So you're getting some. It could be underground. I mean, if you do have some land, if you live out in the country, we can definitely put some underground. But typically, if you live in a residential area, a lot of times most people put them in the garage, above ground in the garage, bolted to the slab. Hey, starting to get crazy here in Sherman. That wind is picking up pretty good. Let's zoom into Sherman here. All right, so there's Denison, there's Sherman, and you've got a lot of yellows, approaching Gainesville. So you got the all right. So now the leading edge is over Dallas. I mean, it's pouring big time in Dallas. Someone mentioned earlier that they let go of the Stars game, so they're trying to probably scramble there downtown Dallas. All right. So what is this? I don't like to look at this. Hey, yes, I got the lightning rods through him. Hey, Diane, yes, I appreciate it. Can actually enjoy the lightning now, not worrying about my house on fire. Yeah, that's really the main thing it does, folks. I mean, it's kind of a peace of mind thing. I mean, obviously, we get a ton of lightning. This isn't the only one. I mean, we'll have a we'll even have more lightning. Um, uh, Tire screen. Let me put on this one. Here, let me find the link for you. So hey, I put the link in the comments there, folks. So you can yeah, so anybody that's interested, you can yeah, fill out the form. I'll get notified. You can schedule an in-person meeting, an online discovery. You can just even schedule a phone call. We can chat about it. So we make it pretty easy for you. So is anybody interested and want to know more about a lightning rod protection system, storm shelters, surge protectors? Yeah, feel free to fill out the form, and I'll follow up with you. I've got a couple appointments tomorrow. I go into all the appointments myself, believe it or not. Some people, it's like, hey, I didn't know it was you. I didn't actually know it was you who's going to be showing up. It's like, yep, that's me. I go on all the appointments, so I am a busy guy now. Hey, any updates in Glen Heights? All right, so Glen Heights, so you're on that leading edge of that squall line that just hit you. So you're getting some of those 50-mile-per-hour winds under that little special weather statement that's issued for your area. So you're getting the heavier the winds, 50 miles an hour winds, the heavy rain, seeing some lightning out there in Glen Heights, and that will continue to move through at 45 miles an hour here. You're right on the edge of that flood warning, but obviously you got more building off to the west and more rain building off to the southwest. Hey Ashley, you lost your power in Trenton. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully that comes on shortly. I mean, sometimes that can be an issue sometimes if you just get like a sudden burst of wind. But so yeah, you're probably approaching that squall line there in the city of Trenton. Well, let's zoom in. So you in the city of Howell, right here south of Sherman, you've already had that main squall line move through, and you are under that flood warning. But you've got this another wave that's going to move through here shortly. Not as intense, but you'll have more heavy rain, more lightning on the backside. This will be moving through. I mean, again, I honestly feel like the severe threat has, I mean, really lessened, if not almost gone away completely, to be honest with you. If you've already seen the rain in your neck of the woods, this is, I've seen many of these over the years. This is a classic squall line weakening, transferring to a heavy rain event. So that's basically what's happening here, especially when the temperatures already dropped 10 degrees. This is what tells me we're not dealing with the same beast as we were earlier. So just give you an example, when we first were talking about this, the dew it was 82 degrees. I mean, it's 7 o'clock. It was still 82 degrees out there, and the dew was 68. Right. So now we're talking at 68. So it's dropped about 10 degrees, but the dew point's also down into the 50s. It's 57. It's fairly significant. So that's a different ball game. I mean, typically the threshold for severe weather is around 55 dew point, and we're at 57. So that tells me that it can still happen, but the probability of it happening is dwindling fast. Hey, why did Grayson not lose the tornado watch? Um, it was just issued the latest, really. I mean, out west, the tornado watch, some areas got issued at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, the further east you live, and then you're kind of north. So the bow segment lifted northeast faster than the one southeast. So, um, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're getting the heavy rain. You're under the flood warning here. You've got some higher wind gusts, but they're not as severe as they were earlier. And just because you're under a watch doesn't really mean anything. I still think the dynamics are not there to be susceptible for severe weather anymore. And the longer this goes on, I mean, it's not. It's there's no way it's going to last till 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, if anything, we'll have more flood warnings. I mean, this is what's going to happen. We'll probably have more flood warnings starting to dot further south, which you still can get heavy rain. I mean, there's nothing to sneeze at just because they're not severe. I mean, even these storms here, there's 50-mile-per-hour winds. Those are still strong thunderstorms. You got lightning, you got wind, you've got heavy rain. So these are still strong thunderstorms, even though they're not severe. Hey, was there any reported hail in McKinney or Melissa? I mean, if there was, it was more of a higher wind threat. I can see if it's calculated yet. It might be too soon. Yeah, mean, if there's any like little bitty hail out there, it's just towards Highland Park. I mean, this might be some pea size, some nickel size hail here. Yeah, it's kind of soon to calculate, but I mean, again, the biggest I'm actually seeing really is about pea to nickel. That's There's not anything bigger than nickel. Hey, none in Trinity Falls so far, just wicked winds and hard rain. Hey, appreciate it, Diana. El Paso storm a non-issue now. Well, no, I mean you're still going to have the storms. You're still going to have rain. It's just I think it just might not be severe. So I don't want to. You can still get storms. You can have a lot of lightning. You can have a lot of thunder. You can have some high winds. They just won't be severe. So again, a severe thunderstorm is 58 mile per hour or higher. All right. So this is a mesoscale discussion, which is 50 miles an hour. So it's technically not severe, but it's still strong. And then anything less than a quarter. So you can get small hail. So that includes pea size, nickel size, dime size. That's all considered small, non-damaging, non-severe hail. Or, I mean, that's those are strong thunderstorms. Of course, to be a severe thunderstorm, it's got to be over the 58, which is 58 mile per hour wind gusts, basically 60 mile per hour, and then it has to be, a quarter size hail or higher, and then it has to have well, or it could also include a tornado warning or obviously a tornado on the ground. So that's three ways you can have a severe thunderstorm warning. If it doesn't meet those criteria, then it's not severe. Is there going to be a tornado in Wolf City? I mean, again, if you haven't been hit, I mean, it's still, I mean, you're still under that severe thunderstorm watch. I mean, and your atmosphere hasn't been touched yet. So if you live east, you're still open to potential of maybe a quick spin up, right? We still have the watch. That watch hasn't gone anywhere. So if you've got the rain already and you've got the overrunning set up and some of the rain that's been issued. So yeah, so you look, I mean, the severe threats pushing east. So you got the tornado watch that just issued for areas east. These are areas that have not been touched yet, right? So you got far east Texas, far northeast Texas. You've got Arkansas with the severe threat pushing east until 3 o'clock in the morning. So you'll get downgrades and upgrades all night as these are going to push east. Like I mentioned, it's tomorrow. It goes from East Texas to roughly Pennsylvania. Today it's going from Texas to Michigan. Tomorrow it goes from East Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, all the way up to Pennsylvania. That's tomorrow. Hey, major thunder right now in Southwest McKinney. Yeah, we could look at some of these storm reports, but earlier from spotters. Some of the damage, wind damage report 2 miles north of Paradise. Some of the wind damage reports. So Chico and Wise County also reported some trees down. That's straight line wind damage. Any updates from McKinney? So we like I said, we're still on. They still have the severe thunderstorm watch. We don't have any warnings at the moment, and now we have a flood warning. Not severe warning, but we have flood warning just for heavy rains. The flood warning goes all the way to 12:45. So we have a flood warning for another 2 hours or so for more rain out west and more rain building southwest that's going to be moving northeast. So we are expecting more rain in the overnight hour. Like I mentioned, at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's still going to be raining. At 6 o'clock in the morning, it's probably going to still be raining in some areas. So it should be raining for a good chunk of the night for parts of North Texas. It may not be severe. I'm not really expecting it to be severe, but you still could hear rumbles of thunder. You could hear some light, see some lightning and hear out there and hear some heavy rains. And yeah, some of those could produce some little pea-size hail, some nickel-size hail. Not out of the question. With a strong thunderstorm and not a severe storm. Hey, Christopher. You live in Rowlett, so all right. So there's Rowlett. You're just now getting the heavy rain pushing into your area. So you get the leading squall line. You're likely getting some of those 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as we discussed, and those are going to be pushing through here from west to east, and then of course, after that line moves through, we'll have more waves of energy that's going to move through here. All right, I've got about a half inch so far on my Tempest. DFW looks like to have about a half inch as well. So about a half inch of rain so far. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's look at some of these totals. I'm just going to take the watches back off. All right. I think this updates every hour, so it's about probably 40 minutes delayed here. So this is just through 10 o'clock. So, but yeah, what we're looking at here is some estimated rain amounts, and so yeah, it looks like about 1 to 2 inches out there west of Fort Worth, Weatherford, Abilene, Graham, those areas near Ballinger, half inch to 1 inch. So Weatherford about an inch of rain here. You're getting to Denton. So again, this is about 40 minutes late or delayed. But yeah, so far it looks to be about a half inch, some areas 1 inch, some areas then 2 inches, right? So just at kind of the beginning stages of this event, and I think we'll have a lot more rain to come in the overnight. Hey, what are the wind gusts in Princeton? It sounds crazy right now. Well, I mean, you're looking at about 50 miles an hour. So this special weather statement was issued, and the movement is east at 45 miles an hour, and the overall wind gust is about 50. So you said you were in Princeton. So it looks like 10, 12. That's yeah, Cattle Mills, Celeste, Bonham State Park at 1040. Yeah, so it's already hit you in Princeton. All right, so let's zoom in here. There's Princeton. Yeah, so you're just kind of locked in that heavy rain right now, and then some of those higher wind gusts. So you're in that 40 between 40 and 50 miles an hour. Is it safe to go to bed in Sherman? I mean, honestly, I think so. I mean, I don't really feel like there's going to be it weakened pretty quick. I mean, the rain kind of overtook itself, and it was definitely all hands on deck out west, but it definitely weakened as it moved further east to the metroplex, and we're continuing to see that weakening trend now. I mean, as far as the severe threat, we'll still get rain, we'll still get lightning and thunder in the overnight, and we'll probably have more flood warnings. But I think the tornado threat is drastically decreased. I think the severe threat. I mean, I think the health threats decreased. Again, you lose about 10 degrees, you get just I mean a lot of rain over the metroplex. It kind of stabilized the atmosphere, if you will. Yes, I think Sherman's probably good to go to bed. I think that's a good. I mean, really, for most of the metroplex. I mean, but once you get past this squall line here, the main squall line, um, it's just one of those evenings that it died. I mean, it died down quicker than I even thought. Then that sounds like a good night's sleep. Hey, I mean, I'll probably still watch it a little bit, and I know y'all probably sleep through it, but I'll probably still maybe laying in bed looking at my phone at times. Um, just because I'm a weather nerd, but but I don't think you have anything to worry about. But yeah, I mean, all this is going to be building southwest here. Yeah, so we got more activity building towards Del Rio, north of Kerrville, San Angelo, Ballinger, Brownwood here. That extends through Weatherford. So, like I mentioned, you're going to get these waves and waves of precipitation. Are going to be moving through. But yeah, I mean, you probably don't need me for storm coverage anymore. I mean, there's probably not much to really be terribly to be concerned about. If you're home and if you're inside your home, you're pretty safe. I mean, this if you still got some lightning. You got to watch out for the lightning. But as far as like tornadoes go, I think that's come down. They will be probably, canceling a lot of the watches and the severe thunderstorm watch. I mean, the one over McKinney or so. There's no way that's going to go until 2 o'clock in the morning, though. I mean, they're probably be canceling it here shortly. Hey, you're welcome, Jay. No problem. Happy to be here. I was kind of hunkering down for the rest of the night. I was like, I gotta be here till 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I was like, well, I don't want to start too soon. I'm gonna be on it for a while. Um and then it ended a lot sooner than I thought. So there you go. I don't know. It's, I mean, hey, it doesn't happen with all the events. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, there's another wave coming. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And here we go again. Um, that's not tonight, right? We'll have more waves, but the waves that come are not going to be severe. So I don't think we have to worry about that. So that's a good thing, right? So and if we can spread this out, right? So if we could spread the rains out, we're not getting a deluge all at once, then let some of that soak in. So this is kind of what you need is more like a good soaking. So if this goes through and then you got this little lull here, let all that soak in, and then you got more rain coming in 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's actually kind of a good thing, right? Yeah, temperatures drop fast. Amy, this is what I'm talking about. It's like 10 degrees, and the cold front's still west, right? So there, I mean, we got all this to have to come through. So you got the stuff out in West Texas. You've got you got the cold front. All this has to move through. So there's going to have plenty of opportunities to bring more rain before all this moves out. So all right. Well, I mean, that's the latest, folks. I mean, and hey, get some rest. I mean, it's 10:45, right? Let's have a good night's sleep. And like I said, I think the severe threats really drastically dropped big time. We're still going to get some heavy rain. There's no question about that. I think we're going to get some more flood warnings overnight. We're going to probably get a lot more lightning too. So you're probably going to hear some rumbles of thunder. They might just be under the severe limits. I think they still could be strong, but probably not severe. So, all right, guys, appreciate you watching, tuning in. I'll give you a full update recap in the morning. Y'all get some sleep. All right. Good night.